before you is the controlling officer and management from Chinji District Council. Thank you.
That the Office of the Auditor General conducted in your council. But before we go into the substance of this meeting, let us know who is who here. And in that regard, I will let the honorable members, starting with the honorable members, let us have introductions. And then I will let you, a controlling officer, and your team to introduce yourselves before an oath is administered. At this juncture, let me start with Mulanje Southeast introductions.
Honorable Chairperson, through you, I am Buka Matemvu, representing the people of Mulanje Southeast. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Through you, Honorable Chairperson, my name is Santiago Samson Piri, Member of Parliament for Mulanje South constituency. Thank you.
Representing the people of Zomba City North, my name is Bester Ben Awali. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. From the people of Chiradzuro Nyungwi, my name is McPherson Mwai Ndalama. Thank you.
Chair, good afternoon. My name is Gerard Tasawukadala, representing the people of Blantyre Central constituency. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Vua Gaunda, MP for Ngarabe Central.
Chairperson, I'm Gerard Kabisani Piri from the people of Salima Central. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, I'm Judith Sekaloka, Parliament Secretariat.
Through you, Honorable Chairperson, I'm Nelly Nkata, Parliament Secretariat.
Honorable Chairperson and the Honorable Committee, my name is Thomas Makiwa and I'm the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Members. I am Rabson Kagwaminga, Chief Auditor, responsible for financial and compliance audit within the National Audit Office. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, my name is Harrison Makwenda, Principal Auditor. Thank you.
Honorable Chair and Honorable Committee, my name is Wilson Namonde. I am a Principal Auditor. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, I am Alexander Ben, representing Office of the President and Cabinet. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and all honorable members, I am Dalit Somainjen, representing the National Local Government Finance Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Lawrence Chagakala Chazia, Lilongwe Chirobwe constituency.
And my name is Eisenhower Mkaka, MP Lilongwe Mpenu, and sitting in for the chairperson of this meeting. Just to say, before I invite you to introduce yourselves, that we are live on Parliament TV. And therefore, you must know that the public is watching the proceedings in this meeting. May I, at this point, invite you, controlling officer, to introduce yourselves, and then you lead the members of your team, especially those that will speak, to introduce themselves, starting with you, controlling officer.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and the whole House. My name is Reingat Kaweta Chavula, District Commissioner from Change. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the honorable members, my name is Beth Madinga, Principal Accountant, Change District Council. Thank you.
For purposes of record, we will let all the members of your team introduce themselves.
I'm Councillor Kennedy Peter Jibanga, Chairperson from Chinji District Council. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson of this meeting. I am Robert Sakala, Acting Director for Lands.
Honorable Chairperson, I'm Smith Ndenola, Director of Economic Planning and Development. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, good afternoon. I'm Yohane Male, the Acting Director of Health and Sanitation Services. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, my name is Emmanuel Grevasio, Acting Director of Community and Social Services in Change.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, I'm Samson Kandawire, the Acting Director for Natural Resources and Environment. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, my name is Isaac Jones Malawi, representing the Director of Public Works in Chinji District Council. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, I'm Duncan Campini, Acting Director of Commerce and Industry.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, I'm Sophia Antiko, Director of Education and Sports. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, I'm Patrick Isaac Kambadza, Internal Auditor, Chinji District Council. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson and the entire committee, my name is Emmanuel Chiputula, Principal Accountant, Mchinji District Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now that we know who is here, controlling officer, honorable members, let me say that Parliament in general has got three basic functions: legislation, representation, and oversight. And this committee draws its mandate particularly from the Public Audit Act and the standing orders, the main objective being to provide oversight and ensure accountability in the way public resources are used. In that regard, Parliament, through this committee, receives reports from the Auditor General. And in this specific instance, we got a report from the Auditor General relating to Mulanje District Council. And before we let you, controlling officer, answer to the questions raised by the Auditor General as observed, we will let you take oath. Please do know and understand that it will be you taking oath, and anyone who, in your considered view, is going to support you and will therefore speak in as far as the audit query is concerned. So at this point in time, may I ask the Secretariat to administer oath. Thank you.
I, Rengat Kaweta Chavula, do solemnly swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Bet Tumasile Madinga, do solemnly swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Dr. Yohane Mwale, do solemnly swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now that you've taken oath, we can go into the substance of this meeting. Controlling officer, before we tackle the audit queries, I will request you to give us an overview of Mulanje District Council. So let me allow you at this point in time to give an overview to this honorable committee of Mulanje District Council. Controlling officer.
Thank you, Chair, and honorable members of the committee. Mulanje District Council is one of the local governments in Malawi, constituted from Act of Government in 1998 with the function of provision of various services to the people. And the Nchinji District Council spearheads and coordinates all efforts from various sectors of the council together with other stakeholders in the implementation of Vision 2063, the overarching development strategy for Malawi at district level. In terms of the geographical location, I don't know if I should go into all these details or just the general overview.
Just give us the general overview.
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Nchinji District Council is one of the districts that is relatively populated, and as of now, from the 602-305 census of 2018, we are now about 715 people, and we have 7 members of parliament, 4 senior chiefs, and 12 traditional authorities. In terms of devolved sectors, we have almost 19 devolved sectors. For the past year, in terms of achievements, 2025 and 2026 financial year, we had some priorities, and we feel that these were some milestones that were achieved, that we collected revenue, superseding the target that we had, up to 123%. And we also developed proposals which went into PSIP. The other thing worth of note is the rehabilitation of 9 out of the 12 irrigation schemes. We also introduced 3 value-added products, cooking oil, honey, and soya milk, to the market from 7 cooperatives and certified new Kamendo cooperative by the Malawi Bureau of Standards. In terms of NRB, we registered 24,500 people for identification against the target which we had of 21,000. We also recorded 0 cases of cholera and anthrax, despite outbreaks in the neighboring districts. And finally, we rehabilitated major gravity-fed water scheme, benefiting about 16,000 people, and increased water supply by 2.8%. Maybe of particular note, Chair, is that Nchinji, especially the Boma area, there's an acute issue to do with water shortage. So this is one of the milestones that happened. In terms of challenges, we have challenges in mobility, very few vehicles for us to effectively do service delivery to our people of Nchinji. And we have also inadequate funding levels relative to the program workload. Some sectors really have much work to do, but very little funding to effectively discharge those duties. Then we have insufficient infrastructure and systems for value addition. Knowing it as a farming district, we really needed more value addition infrastructure so that people have a benefit for their labor. And then fourthly, we have low community participation and awareness, particularly in environmental decision-making and gender equality, contributing to poor environmental governance and rising cases of gender-based violence linked to high illiteracy levels that we have. We also have weak health and service delivery capacity, characterized by the intermittent stockouts of essential medical commodities at the central medical stores, and indeed, in some cases, inadequate human resources. We also have issues to do with staff accommodation, especially in hard-to-reach areas, affecting staff deployment in such areas, retention, and indeed service continuity. Rising prices of supplies. This also has affected us in terms of eroding the value of budgets and constrain effective program delivery. Finally, population growth. Expanding settlements and increasing pressure on land and natural resources, these continue to influence the district disaster risk management profile of our district in Nchinji. But we have opportunities, Honorable Chair, and the entire committee. And the opportunities that we have as Nchinji is, one, the revision of council bylaws by introducing new ones which have been adjusted, the licenses, fees, and charges to improve the revenue collection. Availability of vibrant NGO and the civil society network, which supports development activities. And finally, there is a vibrant fish market, which includes the locally generated revenue for the council. With that, Honorable Chair and the entire committee, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Controlling Officer. Honorable members, this is the submission from the Controlling Officer. I wonder whether any of us would have anything to say before we go into the audit query. They say silence is golden. What it means is we would go straight into the audit query. We've got one audit query with three observations under it. May I, at this point in time, ask Mulanje Southeast to tackle the question.
Honorable Chairperson, much obliged. The people of Mulanje, this Southeast constituency, Honorable Chairperson, would like to find out from the controlling officer of Mchinji District Council how they had financial statements irregularities, which based the opinion from the Auditor General's report. And the first one, Honorable Chairperson, is the misallocation of expenditure amounting to 28,799,855 and 6 tambala. Could you, controlling officer, explain to this honorable committee why these funds amounting to 28,799,855 and 6 tambala were spent on unapproved budget lines without authorization from the Local Government Finance Committee in line with the Local Government Act of 1998. Number two, unadjusted fees and penalties not substantiated with a schedule amounting to 44 million kwacha 290,000. Could you, controlling officer, explain to this honorable committee why current receivables were understated by 44 million 290,000, arising from discrepancies between the statement of performance and the statement of cash flows? Lastly, Honorable Chairperson, unadjusted payables of 6,318,528 kwacha. Could you, controlling officer, inform this honorable committee why no schedule was provided to substantiate the adjustment on fees and penalties from 129 million 561 and 175 kwacha to 88,631,175 kwacha, contrary to sound accounting and audit evidence requirements. The people of Mulanje Southeast would want to submit, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, the people of Mulanje Southeast. Let me provide guidance as to how we are going to dispose of the sub-queries. As I indicated, we have got one query, but then under it, we've got three sub-queries. In that regard, controlling officer, we will deal with each subquery separately because we have to pass a verdict for each subquery that has been raised. So in that respect, let me ask you, controlling officer, to respond to this. Just again to say that you may know some of these honorable members by name, but here they are representing their constituencies, and therefore when you are responding to their questions, or I mean, this is how you are going to address them. You will address them by the names of their respective constituencies. Controlling officer, you may want to tackle the first query.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members of the committee, and thank you, Mulanje Southeast, for the question that you raised concerning misallocation of expenditure amounting to 28,799,855 6 Tambala. Honorable Chairperson of the committee and honorable members, management concurs with the Auditor General's observation that Nchinji District Council utilized funds amounting to 28,799,855 6 Tambala without obtaining prior approval from the National Local Government Finance Committee, contrary to Section 52 of the Local Government Act 1998, which governs environment and reallocation of public funds. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members of the committee, allow me to provide context to the circumstances that led to this situation. During the financial year under review, the Council experienced significant funding constraints within the health services vault. A substantial portion of the other recurring transactions ORT allocation was absorbed by essential and non-deferrable utilities, namely electricity, water, and food supplies for the hospital. At the same time, the Council faced acute shortages in funding for ambulance fuel, local payments, and other critical health operations. These pressures were further compounded by the extraordinary resource demands arising from COVID-19 interventions, which consumed much of the available budgetary space. Given the urgent need to sustain life-saving health services, the Council found it necessary to temporarily redirect funds from other equally important sectors to support the hospital. This decision was taken to prevent service disruption and safeguard public health, while fully acknowledging the requirement to comply with established financial regulations. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, in recognition of the legal requirement for prior approval, the Council formally wrote National Government Finance Committee on 18th November 2022, requesting authority for environment. The approval was subsequently granted on 24th April 2023. Although the approval came after the expenditure had already been committed, the Council acted in good faith and in the best interest of service continuity, while ensuring that the necessary regulatory processes were followed. Find the attached Appendix 1 for reference and National Local Government Finance Approval Letter. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members of the committee, going forward, management has significantly strengthened our expenditure approval procedures to ensure that all reallocations strictly follow the formal authorization pathway. In particular, no environment will be effected without prior written approval from the National Local Government Finance Committee as required under the governing financial regulations. To prevent recurrence of similar issues, management has instituted enhanced monitoring mechanisms to ensure that any proposed expenditure reallocation is A, properly justified, B, supported by complete documentation, and C, fully aligned with established legal and regulatory requirements before implementation. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Controlling Officer. Maybe from me, before I ask the honorable members, just check with you if your communication to the National Local Government Finance Committee was supported by the Council's resolution.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and the Honorable members of the committee. Before submitting viaments, we have our quarterly meetings where we submit the reports, what we have expended for the particular quarter, and also the viaments that are to be submitted to National Government Finance Committee. So it is my considered view that this was done. My apologies that probably we did not attach the same to this report. Thank you.
Should it be your considered view or as a matter of fact?
Honorable Chairperson of the House and honorable members of the committee, procedurally, that's really how we do things. Probably the chair of the council is here with your indulgence. I don't know if I can ask him to comment.
Okay, the council chair did not take oath to speak, so if it is your view that he should speak, then I'll ask the secretary to administer oath to him.
I, Kennedy Peter Chipanga, I do solemnly swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Switch off the mic. Thank you, Council Chair. Now you are ready to respond. Council Chairperson.
Through the chair and the entire committee, indeed, what the Madam DC has said is the true, that the committee approved that 28 million should be used at the health sector. So we follow each and every procedure to use that money. Thank you, the chair.
Supplementary, I see the people of Blanda City Central, then Chiladzuru Nyungwe. Did I see a hand up from Mulanje Southeast?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson.
In that order, please.
Thank you, Chair. Just to supplement your concern regarding the resolution from the Council to use the to do the misallocation of expenditure of such amount. What we are looking for is the evidence regarding this particular resolution. Is it handy, or maybe you can have time to submit to the House the evidence that during the resolution that you made at council level? Thank you, Chair.
Controlling Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and the people of Blantyre, South East, City Central. We will provide evidence, Honorable Chair. We don't have it handy, but we can bring if advised. Thank you.
Okay, since you allege, at this point it's an allegation, that a resolution was passed, I think I would, or this committee would give you 7 days to provide evidence of the same. Chiladzuru Nyungwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, for according the people of Chiradzura Nyungwe to further supplement. I might have missed it, but I would like the controlling officer to tell this committee whether the resolution from the council came after or before the expenditure. Because if I heard correctly, the expenditure was done before the approval from the National Local Government Finance Committee. But now I would be interested to learn whether that expenditure was done or implemented before or after the resolution from the council. Secondly, I know that Mulanje Southeast is about to comment, but I also just wanted to perhaps propose a verdict. We see that there's some documentary evidence that is yet to be supplied to this honorable committee. You've ruled on a timeline, so I would therefore wish to move that the verdict be put to further reporting, and then maybe we can note it once the documents are in the hands of the committee. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Controlling Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members of the committee, and thank you, Chiradzuru Nyungwe, for the question. In terms of approval, we usually do it when we have compiled all the environments for the particular year. So before we submit to National Governance Committee, in this particular case, then it was in November, that's when it went to the committee for approval. But the delay is the one which came later in April. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Chiladzuru Nyungwe, you appear not to be satisfied with the response.
Thank you, Chair. My question was to do with the timelines of approval by the council. So she mentioned that they have the quarterly council meetings, and they are yet to submit the resolved minutes for that approval. Now, was that approval coming after or before the expenditure? Thank you so much, Chair.
Controlling Officer.
The expenditure happened between November and April. So the quarterly meetings, we have them at the end of the quarter in December. Yeah, so my submission to the House is it happened, the expenditure was happening concurrently at that time, from November to April. As we've submitted in the initial report to say that we are pressured and for the fuel ambulances and the essential services. So by the time we are submitting the environment, that's the time we are doing the expenditure. Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members of the committee. Thank you.
Mulanje Southeast.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for recognizing the people of Mulanje Southeast once again. Honorable Chairperson, not to reflect on the chair, the people of Mulanje Southeast just wanted to put it on record that this committee, Honorable Chairperson, is a committee of procedure. And that being the owner of the question, Honorable Chairperson, we believe that the people of Mulanje Southeast should have been given precedent before the other honorable members came to the floor, Honorable Chairperson. And being a committee of procedure, Honorable Chairperson, we note that there is a motion on the ground, Honorable Chairperson, that has been moved by our colleagues from Chiradzulu Nyongwe. And proceeding to question, Honorable Chairperson, the controlling officer would be unprocedural, and the people of Mulanje Southeast would just want to register a comment, Honorable Chairperson, and second the motion from the people of Chiradzulu Nyongwe.
Thank you very much, the people of Mulanje Southeast. What I saw was a hand up. There was no indication as to whether it was a supplementary question. Otherwise, the people of Mulanje Southeast should have been accorded precedent over everyone, other member. Having supported or seconded the verdict by Chiradzulu Nyongwe, what it means, controlling officer, is that this particular query has been we'll await further reporting from you, particularly on the submission of evidence of a resolution from the council relating to the environment. You may proceed, controlling officer. Yeah. You may proceed to the second one.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members of the committee. Indeed, management concurs with the Auditor's general observation regarding the adjustment made to fees and penalties. An amount of 40,930,000 was deducted from the initially recorded figure of 129,561,105, resulting in a revised balance of 88,631,175. However, this adjustment was not accompanied by detailed supporting schedule or documentary evidence, leading to unsubstantiated variance of 3,360,000 kwacha. Further analysis comparing the statement of financial performance and the statement of cash flows revealed that the current receivables movement were understated by 3,360,000 kwacha. The adjustment of 40,930,000 kwacha therefore did not fully reconcile with the identified discrepancy, leaving a gap attributable to the absence of adequate supporting documentation. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members of the committee, allow me to provide an explanation that 2022-23 financial position showed receivables closing account balance of 3,360,000 kwacha under current assets and 3,565,000 kwacha under non-current assets, giving a total balance of 6,925,000 kwacha. The reclassification from current receivables to non-current receivables was an error, considering that no condition had changed for these receivables. The difference between the closing balance of 47,650,000 kwacha for 2021-22 financial position and the 40,930,000 kwacha movement is 6,720,000 kwacha for both current and non-current receivables. But the statements had 6,925,000 kwacha, being overstated by 205,000 kwacha, whose correction is as below. Journal entries, accumulated surplus and deficit as prior year correction error on the debit side, 205, and the receivables as corrected at 205 on the credit side. This adjustment has been made retrospectively in 2024-25 financial statements, which have since been submitted to the Auditor General for review. See Appendix 2, Receivables Schedule, and 3, an extract for 2024-25 financial statements. Honorable Chairperson and members of the Honorable Committee, management remains committed to strengthening financial reporting processes to ensure full compliance with the financial management requirements. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Controlling Officer. Honorable members, any takers? Mulanje Southeast.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, again for the opportunity. Just wanted to find out from the controlling officer, the people of Mulanje Southeast are struggling to see the evidence on the authorization of the journals that were entered to rectify the error that was here. The expectation from the people of Mulanje Southeast, Honorable Chairperson, was that the controlling officer would have provided duly authorized journals attached to this particular submission, Honorable Chairperson. And in the absence of that duly authorized journal entry, the people of Mulanje Southeast believe that the controlling officer is trying to ensure that your Honorable Committee can accept her evidence on face value. And Honorable Chairperson, that's a big problem for your Honorable Committee. Submitted, Honorable Chairperson.
Controlling Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the committee and Honorable members of the committee. Let me agree with the observation of Mulanje Southeast. However, let me also take you to the very last statement, the very last page, the appendix mentioned on note 8, 9, and 10 and 11, statement of changes, in which we reflected in the 25 financial statements the difference that was corrected. In terms of the actual journals, of course, we are still using the manual templates when we are preparing the final statements. And that's why the error was adjusted manually. In terms of this submission, Honorable Chairperson of the committee, we submitted it to show that it was duly effected and also shown in the subsequent statement of the following years. Thank you, Chair.
Mulanje Southeast.
Honorable Chairperson, the people of Mulanje Southeast understand the situation in which the controlling officer finds herself, but the worry is still there with the people of Mulanje Southeast, Honorable Chairperson, and she just made it worse with her response, Honorable Chairperson, that with the National Local Government Finance Committee present, with your Honorable Committee, Honorable Chairperson, she would come and state that they are still doing manual reconciliations in 2026. A whole council in 2026 with the assurances of the National Local Government Finance Committee that we have moved away from these manual entries and now we have automated. The people of Mulanje Southeast, Honorable Chairperson, are the ones that come here to learn about technologies, and they are assured that government systems are now automated, and all of a sudden there's a revelation that we still are doing manual entries in the councils, Honorable Chairperson. And what the people of Mulanje Southeast are looking for, Honorable Chairperson, is evidence that this particular error was authorized to be reversed. We know making errors is human, but we are saying that you cannot just sit on your laptop and reverse the errors that you have. We need to have a procedure that ensures that there is authorization. Somebody with authority will actually approve that such a gem has to be reversed. That's where the worry, Honorable Chairperson, is, and we would want that commitment from the controlling officer. Submitted, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you very much, the people of Mulanje Southeast. And just to buttress your point, I think this journal reversal is not just a debit and credit transaction. These are monies involved, and you want to make sure that any reversals are controlled. No one just wakes up and effects reversals. You never know the intention, the motivation. And yes, I agree as chair with the people of Mulanje Southeast that we need to have approval for these journal reversals. So the question is very simple. Do you have a resolution from a bare minimum the Finance and Audit Committee for these reversals? Controlling Officer.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members of the committee. Just maybe to restate that the ones that we are still doing manual are the financial statements, not the reconciliations. So I wanted to emphasize on that point. They are the financial statements. We are still doing them manual. But the reconciliations and everything else, we are still doing them through IFMIS. And the National Government Finance Committee, our committee is indeed here. They can attest to that fact. But probably to answer further, I would want to ask my principal accountant to also come in on the procedure issues of approval. Thank you.
Yes, granted.
Honorable Chairperson of the committee and the entire committee, I just want to add on what Madam DC has explained. Currently, for the financial statements, we have a template that we are using, and it's a manual one. But for reconciliations and all transactions as regard to payments are done in the IFMIS. Since this was an error, that's why we corrected, showing that the correction was done in the 2024-2025 financial statements. So I just wanted to add on that one that the adjustment of 205,000 kwacha was done manually because the statements are prepared manually. Thank you. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Do we have any questions, further questions? I think we can proceed to pass a verdict on this one. Honorable members. Blantyre City Central.
Chair, regarding this query, I propose for further reporting. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Zomba City North.
Chair, having listened to the controlling officer and the lack of evidence thereof for the journal entries, and having listened to Blantyre City Central for the proposal for further reporting, the people of Zomba City North would like to second for further reporting. Thank you, Chair.
Controlling officer, what this means is that the query still stands pending evidence from you, controlling officer, to the effect that the reversals were actually backed by a resolution of the council, or at the bare minimum, the Finance and Audit Committee. You may proceed to tackle the last query.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members of this committee.
Sorry, controlling officer. I think we didn't indicate the timelines. Again, I think I give you 7 days, just like the earlier timeline, in which you must submit the same to this committee. Thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members of the committee. An adjustment of payables not substantiated with a schedule, 6,318,528. Management concurs with Auditor's General observation that Nchinji District Council made an adjustment payables amounting to 6,318,528, which at the time of audit was not supported by a detailed schedule or adequate documentation. However, the figure of the adjustment was wrongly picked from the management letter to the Auditor General's report as 6,318,528 instead of 6,548,528. Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members of the committee, management wishes to state that the figure was reinstated back to 74,554,972 from 68,006,264, as this was an audited figure and could not be changed. The journal entries were made as follows: accumulated surplus 6,548,528,000 and payables 6,548,528,000. Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members, management wishes to assure this committee that a comprehensive schedule was subsequently prepared to substantiate the adjustment and has been attached as Appendix 4. This adjustment has been retrospectively made in 2024-25 financial statements, which have been submitted to the Auditor General for review. Attached is an extract of the financial statements showing the reinstatement, Appendix 5. Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members, to prevent recurrence of such issues, management has instituted strengthened internal controls over the reconciliation of payables. A senior officer has been specifically assigned to oversee the reconciliation process and ensure that all creditor schedules are updated, complete, and properly validated before any adjustments are reflected in the financial statement. These measures are intended to enhance the accuracy, transparency, and audit readiness of our financial reporting processes. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Controlling Officer, for the submission. Honorable members, any takers? Yes, Mulanje Southeast.
Honorable Chairperson, we have the very same scenario that we had before. And this is to do with the evidence of the authorization of the JVs involved. And as earlier advised and moved, we would want to ask you, Honorable Chairperson, to continue with your advice to the controlling officer and ensure that they provide before this honorable committee evidence that these journal entries were thoroughly authorized by authorities within the council. And that submission made, Honorable Chairperson, the people of Mulanje Southeast wouldn't want to belabor you, Honorable Chairperson, and we would want to move for further noting, Honorable Chairperson.
Quite true, the people of Mulanje Southeast. Anyone to second the motion? The people of Chiladzuru Nyungwe have seconded the motion. Again, what this means, controlling officer, is that this particular query remains outstanding till you provide evidence to the effect that the same was backed by the resolution or a resolution of the council, or at the bare minimum, the Finance and Audit Committee. Having reached this far, controlling officer, what it means. And again, let me guide that we will give you 7 days to provide the same. After you've provided the evidence, then we may consider retiring the queries. Having reached this far, controlling officer and your team, let me thank you for the responses that you provided to the audit observations. And may I, at this juncture, ask you to give your closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair and honorable members of the committee, for according me this opportunity to say a few remarks. First, to thank the honorable members of the committee for the enlightening questions and probing, which has also helped me as controlling officer to sharpen and go back to look at the issues that have been raised in this house. And indeed, for according us this opportunity to come before this honorable committee, we will abide by the days which you have given us to provide the evidence requested by the House. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, controlling officer. Just to assure you that this committee will provide oversight. This is so because this committee sits here in a representative capacity, and the funds that you spend, the finances that you spend, are funds or finances that are contributed by all Malawians, and it is a noble duty and task for us as a committee to ensure that the funds that all Malawians put together for the betterment of their lives are put to the right use. We will wait to hear from you within the stipulated time so that we may consider retiring the odd observations. Let me wish you safe journey back to Mchinji as you continue to serve the noble people of Mchinji district. At this point in time, controlling officer, you may leave at your pleasure.
Thank you.